That's what they do. You can smell. You can tell who's doing what or what. If you can't tell the exact team, you could tell the people that play that way and what teams they come from. They play that way. That's the way they play. They don't have to wear a jersey. Say I play on Boss Man team number 1, on team number 6. Don't have to do that. The pattern of behavior. The pattern of behavior. Look, and for those nice people, if they can watch the news and listen to what we say here and ponder, and it don't have no effect on them, they're not smart. They're just not smart. And sometimes, it may catch up with them one way or the other. I wouldn't put the life of my wife and children in the hands of this bum for nothing. I'd rather have my wife and children all mad at me for being a troublemaker. If you be quiet, nobody would kill. Because they tell them, your son get killed instead because of you. I said, shit, you niggas is crazy. Excuse the language. So y'all is crazy. So if boss man tell you, which he will, if you don't straighten up, I'm going to make somebody in your family hurt. Well, if you quit, that's all he'll have to do. Is go tell you something. I tell him, hey, you better get busy. Yes.
Right now, to that point, a lot of leaders of families having to make the decision of taking a shot to lose their job. And when you just said that, I thought of a husband that got put to him, at work, maybe Friday, you got to take the shot, or don't come back Monday. And he said, I ain't gonna take it. And he go back home and his wife say, why'd you lose your job? What would you say to somebody at this hour who's facing the tug of war of being a provider, the tug of war of having to do what society is telling them?
Okay. Okay. You remember the March of Dimes? When you was younger, they still had that, right? And you see little kids with the polio, they had the little, okay. Does anybody remember iron lungs? Iron lung, yeah, they put the kids in, huh? Right, you had that big old thing and you had to lay in there. When I was in Africa, okay, I had friends that was boxers. You know where alligators walk? We used to do an exercise to crawl on our fingers like this. You would be looking like an alligator. That really, I don't do it now, it was a while back. But it was good for you. Boxers did it, for their grip and everything. When I went back to Africa in 72, 15% of the people had polio. When I was in South America and I walked around like an alligator on my hands, everybody looked. When I did it in Africa, nobody looked because of the high level, so many people had polio and all of that they got around like that. In Africa, when I was first there, they don't do it now because so each individual a lady was here the other week and they asked about that and I gave her a little letter. I said, you do what you want, but I gave her the results of what so Malaysia and Indonesia especially, all them countries, they did research on this because her idea was maybe it has a pork hormone, something like that, which it don't. They did research on it. Okay, so personally, the people called me for months. They said, you're on the old folks thing and you can get you So I would have, they sent messages up to the house, right? Uh, Probably 1,000, not 1,000, I'm exaggerating, but to come and get your shot. So I said, man, I ain't taking it. So finally, they called me and I said, okay, I'll come around there. And so the lady said, I will be at the CVS. So my decision was either this thing is very bad or it's very good. It's either one of those. Either it's going to kill me, but I'm 76, so I ain't got but a few minutes left anyway. So I'll know within a couple of hours if I fall out. So uh, I took the shot. Then when it was time for the second shot, I went back and I took it. And what I remembered was polio, Dr. Salk, and the vaccines. I just remembered that they was good. And that if the people, they got schemes as killing people by the zillions already, and the public thing wouldn't probably be the smart way to do it like that. Anyway, I took it. And if anybody don't want to take them, it's up to them. But for us, the ulama overseas and all that, plus Iran is making zillions of them, so everybody's trying to, the revolutionaries is taking them, they've taken them on the battlefield and everywhere else. So I would say, might as well give it a shot. Plus, look, the people is dying so bad. I'm not pro the thing because the people chase me down. I got 50, I don't know more, not that many, but I got a lot of please come get your thing. And then I said, how's the people they calling me every other day? So I knew it was a special thing that they was putting. I mean, this was the government call. No, no, they wanted me to have it. So uh, what I have to go over in my mind, so if the government made it, they got the cure for it. So now if they got the cure, so it's a lot of pondering. But I took it. I'm still here, and now my plan is that we can do what we want because we're just asking Allah. We don't have to get it. I'm the happiest man in the world, but I would like to be around another 25 years to get this stuff done. I would like to. I don't need to be. And just before I go in the grave, you just, if you couldn't talk to me, of course, but I'll be happy to be here this long. Because remember, all of my friends have been taken away a long time ago, in the 60s, in the early 70s. Anybody you read about from California, we grew up in the penitentiaries together. We was all friends. In Oakland, I live in Oakland. That's where I'm from. So anyway, I believe I'm here for a reason. I actually believe in that mission-orientated stuff. I technically believe it. I'm almost certain of it. Well, there is a level of yaqeen. I'm certain that I'm here for a reason. And I also believe that Allah is looking out for me, and that I know that the stuff we do now, I couldn't do this. I pretend like when we talk, yeah, I'm going to do this to the white man. That's pretend stuff, just between us. You can't do it if Allah is not protecting you. I'm the Zionist enemy number one. The Zionists run over people in trucks and throw them out of windows. The Zionists are the meanest people in the world. They meaner than boss man himself, if that's possible. They're technically meaner than boss man. The Zionists are. Okay, so I already know if Allah wasn't looking out for me, I wouldn't be here. So taking a little thing, and I don't know. Everybody have to make their own decision. I would never tell nobody, man, you got to take that thing because protect your family. And then I know ladies just gonna say, look, out of several things, food, clothing, and shelter are the main things. So if you take it and you die in 10 years, okay, we'll get your stuff, Social Security, But in the meantime, because that's the way ladies think. They think of, look, boss man said it, you have to do it. That's what they believe that. They push boss man. Good God Almighty. They push boss man because, see, boss man, used to have, the system has power. But white women have slipped up on the system and they can't tell them much what to do. And the white man himself, the males, you notice they acting funny? Been acting that way in Britain. But they don't have absolute authority. When you got absolute authority, the ladies will pay attention. Say, I don't want to say it, to pretend like we didn't say this. But that's true. If you, I used to look at it in the Mac game. That's why I never wanted to do stuff like that. They used to call me Whole Hog and Hank because all the girls I grew up with, I would take them out on the weekend, big timer, and just take them out. Y'all, let's have a party and everything, and I never went and run off looking for most of them high yellow pointed nose people from another neighborhood. It was my homegirls that we all grew up together. We come up together, and so everybody else run straight to Hollywood or wherever they could to find somebody. I had to show people a picture of Miss Mary a while back. This lady was so black. This is blacker than this right here. Anybody see that picture? Because the people saw a picture of one of the ladies. They said, oh, you like them red bones. I said, man, I liked everybody that was girls. And I showed them a picture of Miss Mary. I said, now, Miss Mary is black. This is light black for Miss Mary. Remember that picture I showed? So the point is, I never made those distinctions about our people. But back to this virus that's going around, all the stuff they say it started in China. China said you started it and brought it over here, and we caught your butt on it, and we put a freeze on it because we saw what you did, and about 5 people died in China, right? And you dummy, this got loose on you, and now you mad that this got loose on you. And all the rest of y'all, Europeans, everybody dropping dead. Well, it's a lot of Iranians, but now they're making their own stuff, and it's coming down. See? Okay. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a technical Muslim. And the Muslim said that it's all right to take it, to get back to the original question. The ulama, and especially Indonesia, they said, not that they the toughest, but that's what they said. That's all I could find. And all the Muslims is taking it. They saying, please, y'all got into that those virus stuff. That's what. So, hey, yeah, you can't. Hey, so whatever it is, it ain't no pork product in it. They were saying there was a pork product. The lady that was here last was signed, sealed, delivery. We say what you want, but I don't care. I wasn't going to take it, but they chased me down. I'm not saying they forced me to take it, but they just bothered me to death. They actually bothered me to death. Every day I'd get a phone call. You're such and such an age. You should take it. I said, man, da 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 da. I'm a trust in Allah. And then they just kept on. So I said, okay, I'll take it. I looked and I saw everybody else saying none of them died yet, except a few that, that took it. I don't know what it was. But anyway, self-monitoring. Let me move toward a close. The subject today is leadership. Leadership based on vision. What's your vision about where you want to go and what you want to do and how you want to go there? And what's your potential? In the dictionary, potential is something that's powerful, it's something that's potent. That's what potential is.